The thing I love most about this book is that it reminded me of all the fun times I had with my children in our garden. And I found some of those old photographs and put them at the beginning and end of this video. And hopefully that will inspire you to garden with your children. And I hope that it brings you joy. Happy January and welcome to the Crazy Compost Lady channel. It's January 2025 and this is the beginning of my second year of this channel. So if you're just feeling cooped up and like you can't wait for spring, go through my channel and you can watch all of the videos that I made last year of my beautiful garden and all the beautiful plants that grew. And maybe it will cheer you up and help you to think and dream of your garden this spring. So even though the snow may be covering the ground right now, this is the time to be thinking about gardening. You can draw a picture of your garden space, or maybe the space that you would like to have, and draw little circles inside of the rectangle and see how many of the plants that you'd like to grow will actually fit in there. You can color it in, you can be as crazy and creative with your garden plan as you'd like to be. Another activity that you'll want to do in January is to order your seed catalogs. If you're already on some mailing lists, they'll just automatically come to you in the mail. But if you haven't signed up yet, you should find some seed companies online and then sign up for their free catalogs. They'll send it to you every year. And my favorite is Baker Creek. They don't sponsor me, but they're just my favorite. They do have a catalog you can buy that's bigger, but they have a free one that they'll send out to you every single year. And even though you can buy them online, these are just so fun to look through. They're so beautiful. You get a really good idea what the vegetables look like, and there's amazing descriptions in here. And it's fun to see the people that they have interacting with their vegetables. So this is a really fun catalog to get, and it is free. I'll put a link down in the description for you. But sign up for multiple companies. I do, and then in the yucky winter cold time, you will get these beautiful catalogs in the mail, and they will cheer you up and help you to dream about your garden next year. Also, if you haven't already started a compost pile, you can start that in the winter time. And on days when it warms up a little bit, it will still be composting. and will help amend your soil for spring. So if you have a garden area that's just sitting there with the dirt exposed, you might want to rake up your leaves and put those on top of the soil. If you have rabbits, great, put that on there, or manure from other animals that needs to sit in a compost pile separately for at least a year, I think. But you can even use your kitchen scraps. Start a compost pile this winter and just keep throwing stuff on there, and you'll be amazed in spring. If you move that pile to the side, you'll be amazed what the dirt looks like underneath it. So today though, I want to do a book review because winter is a nice break from some of the physical activities that we do outdoors sometimes, and I tend to have more time to read. This is a book that will help you dream and plan for your garden. It also, if you have kids, I would totally recommend this book. I kind of actually did this with my garden when my kids were little, but I think it would have been even better if I had this book. It's called The Mary Frances Garden Book by Jane Eyre Fryer. And I just wish I had this book when my kids were young. It's for kids, but I think it'd be best if the adult reads the lessons in here like a story time. They're very short, and then there's usually an activity that you can go out and do in the garden and let your kids get outside, do a wholesome activity with you, and they'll be learning. It gives the actual garden plan for this garden that they show on the back of the book. The flower garden actually blooms all summer long in all the seasons, and they tell you exactly how to build this garden. They show you exactly how to build this garden, and there's a vegetable garden. So the way they plan it is, here's the flower garden, and then they have a playhouse, which your kids probably should have anyway. And then behind that is their vegetable garden. So your children could actually have their own garden. All of the garden activities are in this book. If you don't know how to organize that, it will teach you. It gives you a list of all the plants and when to buy them and when to do all the activities. If you have a very tiny area, it actually has a little star by the plants that you should get for your tiny area, and then just leave the other plants out. So you can adapt it to the space that you do or don't have. It teaches all kinds of biology and plant information that would be good to know. And I would say that when you get through this book, you and your children will have learned the skill of self-sustainability as it applies to gardening. It does include composting, and I haven't gotten all the way through this book yet, but I wanted to tell you about it so that you can order it and start reading it in the winter time too, because it might take me a while to get all the way through it. But this is a very fun book, and doesn't it look like the pictures want to be colored in? I think you could have a lot of fun with this book with your children, or if you're an adult and you don't have children in your life. I like to read children's books. I think that it makes information very accessible, and it's a fun way to learn something new if you have a really good children's book. So the Mary Frances Garden Book, and she has them on knitting and I think homemaking, and there's a bunch of different books that she wrote, and I am going to get a collection of them, and maybe I'll do reviews on those too. But this is the one that I wanted to share with you today, and I will put a link in the description for you as well. Just to review, January is the time for you to plan your garden and dream, enjoy those seed catalogs, and build up your compost pile. So happy gardening. I'm sure I'll see you before spring. And what tools to have if you have a very tiny area and if you have a very, my Roomba is stuck under the couch.